When you've been betrayed by someone with narcissistic tendencies, someone who twists the truth, rewrites the story, and leaves you doubting your own reality, well, that damage runs so much deeper than just lies. This episode is brought to you by my HarperCollins published book, Mind Over Explicit Matter. Learn how artificial stimulation miswires your brain and what you can do to rewire it back to purpose, intimacy, and connection. Go to drtrishleigh.com/book. It's the confusion, the second guessing, the constant mental tug of war that leaves you questioning your own mind. I've worked with hundreds of women who once felt trapped in that same fog of confusion. And I've also watched their clarity return, their nervous systems settle, their confidence grow, and their peace rebuild. Using these 7 keys, they've moved from self-doubt to self-trust. Before we go into the 7 keys, it's important to understand what's actually happening inside of your brain when you've been betrayed by someone with narcissistic tendencies. Because this isn't just emotional confusion. It's a full-blown nervous system hijack. Here's what's really happening inside of your brain. The ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens, your brain's dopamine reward circuits, well, they light up every time that person offers affection, attention, or an apology. It's the promise of safety, the hit of maybe this time it's for real. When the manipulation or the withdrawal happens, your amygdala and hypothalamus flood your system with cortisol and adrenaline, the chemistry of threat. The brain swings from euphoria to panic, from connection to chaos. That constant back and forth actually wires addiction into the relationship. It's like being trapped on a carousel that spins between hope and hurt. Every moment of charm pulls you forward. Every crash of coldness throws you off balance. And the more it spins, the more disoriented you become until you can't tell whether you're chasing love or escaping pain. Let's talk about the keys now. Key number 1, recognize the trauma bond. Your nervous system bonded to unpredictability, and that can happen even when you know something's off. When love, apology, and distance keep trading places, your brain learns to chase relief instead of safety. They'd pull away, and your body would flood with fear. Then they'd return with affection or apology, and your brain would release dopamine and oxytocin, the chemicals of connection. That back and forth wired chaos into comfort. You started seeking peace in the same place your pain began. Key number 2, name the gaslight pattern. This step is for you and your clarity, not to prove anything to the person who distorted the truth to you. Gaslighting trains your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that recognizes patterns and logic. It trained it to doubt its own evidence. One of the best ways to rebuild that clarity is to write things down. What was said, what actually happened, how you felt about it in that moment. Putting truth on paper is like turning the lights back on in a room where someone else keeps flicking the switch on and off. It anchors you in reality, your reality, and it retrains your brain to trust itself again. Key number 3, reclaim your inner voice. After betrayal, especially when there's been manipulation or gaslighting, it's easy to lose the sound of your own truth. You start hearing their opinions, their judgments, their explanations louder than your own. This key is about turning the volume back up on you. Practice saying what's true out loud, even if it's just to yourself. That did hurt me. I don't deserve that. I know what I saw. Speaking your truth engages your brain's language and emotional centers, Broca's area and the insula, which helps rewire the nervous system for self-validation. Key number 4, regulate your nerves in real time. You might feel it when you hear the phone buzz or a familiar set of words pulls you into a visceral memory. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your thoughts start to race. That's your body remembering danger before your mind does. When that happens, use a tactile grounding cue. It goes like this. Press your fingertips together slowly until you can feel the ridges meet. Focus on that texture, that gentle pressure. That micro focus pulls your brain out of the threat loop and anchors it back in the present. Each time you do this, you're retraining your body to separate the memory of danger from the moment you're actually in. That's how safety starts to return, one signal at a time. Key number 5, rebuild trust with yourself. After betrayal, your brain gets trained to question everything, especially your own intuition. But every time you listen to that quiet inner knowing and act on it, you're literally strengthening your brain's trust circuits. Those circuits live in your prefrontal cortex and the anterior cingulate cortex too, the parts of your brain that balance logic, emotion, and self-awareness. When manipulation or gaslighting happens, those regions go offline. And this makes it so much harder to know what's real. Rebuilding self-trust turns them back on again. It can be as small as pausing before you say yes, trusting that hesitation in your chest, choosing rest instead of proving your worth, or even walking away from a conversation that feels wrong, even if you can't explain it. Key number 6. Set somatic boundaries. Your body needs physical boundaries before emotional ones feel possible. Notice when your shoulders tense or your breath shortens. That's your body saying, this doesn't feel safe. Step back, unclench, and let that signal guide your next move. Key 7, seek neurological insight and support. Healing from someone with narcissistic tendencies isn't something you do alone in your head. The patterns run deep in your thoughts, in your body, and in your brain's wiring. When you've lived through constant gaslighting, your brain learns to doubt what it senses. Support, whether that be from a therapist, a coach, a trauma specialist, or a community that understands betrayal. This kind of support helps you see what's real again. They can reflect the truth back to you when your nervous system isn't sure what safety feels like yet. Neurobiologically, that support matters so much because co-regulation, being around safe, grounded people, helps calm your amygdala and re-engage the parts of your brain responsible for connection and trust. You're literally borrowing another person's nervous system until your own can stabilize. It's not weakness to need help. It's biology. Your healing accelerates when your brain has consistent proof that safety exists. Support gives you that proof until you can fully feel it yourself again. You've just walked through the 7 keys for overcoming betrayal from someone with narcissistic tendencies. Each one is a step toward rewiring your brain from confusion to clarity, from survival to peace. Remember, you're not healing to become the person you were before this happened. You're healing to become the version of yourself that knows what safety, truth, and calm actually feel like. The fear and hope loop, the trauma bond, the self-doubt, those were never signs of weakness. They were your brain's way of trying to survive something deeply unsafe. And the same brain that learned to live in chaos can now learn to live in peace. You are not broken, my friend. You are, in fact, healing. And every day that you choose calm over chaos, truth over confusion, and self-trust over fear, you're building the life your brain was always wired to have. Now, I know you're probably wondering, because I was wondering this once upon a time, does your partner mean to use narcissistic behaviors intentionally? Does he or she mean to hurt you? Well, click the video that's coming on the screen now, because I have the answers for you from a neurological standpoint. The video is called, Does My Partner Mean to Be Narcissistic? Understanding the brain behind the behavior. If you're looking for more help, please go over to drtrishleigh.com and click the Partners tab. There you'll find all the information you need. Join me there now. And please remember to stay sane, because sanity is regained in every step that you take. I'll see you next time.